Your brain is lying to you every time you mix, not because you're bad at this, but because your brain doesn't hear things equally. It's constantly deciding what to focus on, what to ignore, and if you don't know how to use this to your advantage, your mix is in trouble. A researcher named Albert Bregman spent years studying how the brain processes sound, and what he found is that your brain is automatically splitting everything it hears into these two categories, foreground and background. And he called it auditory scene analysis. Your listener's brain is doing this every single time they press play on your track. So the question is, are you designing for it, or are you just hoping it works out this way? Your brain uses volume as its primary cue for deciding what is foreground, what is background. So louder is upfront, foreground, and things we hear as quieter are going to be background, supportive. And that's not an opinion, that's literally how your auditory system is wired. Let me show you this example and tell me, what's the focus of this? Notice that had no focus. Everything was generally the same volume, so your brain had nowhere to go. Now watch what happens when I make this one clear decision. I just controlled where your brain went and you had no say in that. You locked right onto my vocal. Now watch this. Same mix, but I moved your focus to a different element. Now I have the lead as the primary driver of the song. That's what volume does when you use it with intention. So before you touch any plugin, I want you to ask yourself this question. What is the focal point of this section? What do I want my listener focused on right now? Because if you can't realistically answer that, your volume decisions in the mix are just going to be guesses. Now here's where things get interesting, because volume is really just one part of the equation. Even if your levels are perfect, there's still something else that can be undermining everything you just did, and that's what we're going to talk about next. When you have two sounds sitting in the same frequency space, your ear has a very hard time separating them into distinct objects. And it doesn't really matter how careful you are with your faders, your ear kind of hears it as a blob of sound. And that blob has no foreground or background, it's just noise, kind of like this. Now you've probably heard the phrase, every sound needs its own space in the mix. And your first instinct was probably to reach for an EQ. But by the time you do that, it's often already too late. Because this isn't a mixing problem, it's a sound selection problem. Think about your main foreground elements, your kick, your bass, a lead, a vocal, maybe some drum tops. The producers who get this right are the ones that have already separated those sounds across the frequency spectrum before they start mixing. So this is just an example, but your kick and bass own the low end, then maybe my lead sits in like the low mids to the mids, my vocal is sitting in the upper mids to highs, and then I have my drums sitting on top of everything. Even when all of these elements are mixed relatively loud in the foreground, the ear can still separate them and focus on each one because they're not competing for the same frequency. You hear the difference, and notice I didn't open up an EQ to make things clear. That's sound selection. Now there's a third thing that ties all of this together, and this one might be the most overlooked of them all. Here's the one no one really talks about. Your drop can be massive. Kick, bass, lead, vocal, drums, everything hitting at once. And with what we just covered, intentional volume and frequency space, your drop is going to hit hard, and feel massive. But here's the problem. If your track lives in its entirety at that same energy and intensity, the brain stops registering it. Nothing is gonna feel big anymore. So here's where arrangement comes into play. Let's say I have my drop here. Now watch what happens when I transition into this middle section. This section feels completely different. Your brain just reset, and I captured your focus and attention again. Just when you might have been getting used to the energy of the drop, the balance, the levels, things switch up. And even though this is only 3 elements, kick, bass, and vocal, it still feels enormous because of the space around it. And when we get back to the drop later in my arrangement, that too is still gonna feel massive because of the contrast. That's what the best producers are doing. They're not just thinking about what goes into this moment of my song, but they're also thinking about how that is relative to what comes before it and after it. Look, I know that even after watching this, putting it into practice is a different story. If watching a tutorial and it just working in your music every time was the case, like we'd all be making perfect music, right? You wouldn't be watching this video. So I get it. If this is something you'd rather do hands-on, this is literally the kind of stuff I work on every single day with the students at Cosmic. I will put a pinned comment below. You could apply using that, come work with us. And if you found this helpful in any way, do me a favor, hit the like, subscribe if you're not. We actually make more videos, believe it or not. So with that said, I'll see you in the next one.